Hello, and welcome back to the analyzing video of classroom practice to understand UDL online learning strand. This is Module 4. Module 4 provides the same work that we do in each module. We're using protocols to look at video and analyze it, then discuss it with our teams as a means to deepening our understanding of universal design for learning and our capacity to apply that thinking to our own instructional work. This module focuses on barriers, and for most of you, this will be more of a reminder than an introduction to the concept that the barriers live in the curriculum, not in the learner. So often our work is designed and our work almost nudges us to see the barriers in learners. But in Universal Design for Learning, we really recognize that learners come with lots of variability and that the barriers really exist in the learning design, in the curriculum itself. As with all modules, there will be resources provided for deeper learning. Just to provide some context before we jump in, the barriers is the second piece of the UDL design process. So our first step is always to set clear, rigorous goals, and then we put in that pause. Where is the barrier? What do we anticipate? And if we do so proactively, then we can design options that go right into the original learning design. We're using the Learning Designer in some of our reflection work at the end of each module. And for this module, we'll be looking at the red box, the barriers box. In the last module, you set a goal. Perhaps you described the evidence for that goal in the last module, excuse me. If you didn't, you'll be able to do that evidence box this time. And we'll be looking at barriers this time, all of us. This slide you've seen before if you've been working in this strand, but just a reminder that the video reflection and response gray box section is what I'm going to walk you through, but there are lots of options as well. And I'll introduce you to the independent learning options and to the deeper learning resource right now. If your team or you choose to not watch the video this time and maybe save it for another day, but you want to learn a little bit more about barriers or do a little more thinking, here are some independent learning options. The first is a short video. The second, a worksheet, in the good way, I hope, of organizing as a thinking template. And the third is a couple of questions to prompt some reflective writing. Here's the video. It can be found in Moodle under resource. You'll see that it's named Learning Barriers Video. Here's the worksheet, again, found in Moodle. And here are the questions for the journal writing, and they also can be found in Moodle. You looked at a section of the Teaching Every Student in the Digital Age book last module, or you were provided with that option. We're going to look at a template that's in the appendix of this book as we look at the issue of barriers in the curriculum. So that's the deeper learning resource that you can use now or return to whenever you like. And this brings us to the video. We're going to watch a video of an English classroom. Some of you may recognize this woman. This is Katie Novak, who made this video when she was teaching middle school English, and now Katie does work all over the world around universal design for learning. I'm sure she'd be the first to say this isn't perfect, right? The videos are classroom practice, and classroom practice is never perfect. But hopefully you'll see some opportunities. You'll have some opportunities to see in the video where she's embedded some universal design for learning principles and checkpoints. As always, you'll be able to use one or the other, or both if you want to, of the protocols. The first, looking for universal design for learning. Where are those components? Or looking for expert learning. Where does the design really promote and support learners to be self-directed, purposeful, motivated, resourceful, and knowledgeable as learners in the classroom? And then you'll spend about 30 minutes having a discussion about what you saw, what you noticed, what you wondered about, and any questions that emerge. After you watch the video, please return, and using the Learning Designer on your own, but do so as a team in the same space, but work independently at first, follow up on that goal. What evidence might you need for students to demonstrate to you their mastery or progress toward mastering that goal? And then once you have those first 2 boxes completed, spend some time anticipating the barriers. You know your learners, so not anticipating barriers for any classroom anywhere, but anticipating barriers that might live in the goals and the assessment plan you made, given the variability of your very specific learners. The questions on the right are little check questions that may help you to do that thinking, and just make a record of that. Share your responses or your process with each other to whatever degree you like, and then think a little bit together about these questions. What percentage of the barriers you anticipated as a group or as individuals were embedded in aspects of the curriculum that you typically expect to house barriers? For example, you might say, I know reading material is often out of reach for learners who have not yet learned to decode at that level. Secondly, what other new aspects of the curriculum did you notice housed barriers? Maybe there's something on the affective domain that you notice, something about social emotional learning, maybe something about the physical access that learners might have, or the attentional capacity of learners given the tasks. Are there areas of the curriculum that you don't typically look for barriers in, but in fact you actually found some? So make some notes about that and put your one person's or the whole team's summary, any way you want to reflect it. Please post that in Moodle. As I did last module, I want to just remind you that these independent learning options remain here in Moodle. So if you have time and you're interested in learning more, I encourage you to visit them. And that concludes Module 4. I will see you in Module 5. Please reach out with any questions and take good care.